Good morning, Lakers. Hopefully, your Wednesday was wonderful, and today is going to be a great day for us to talk about box plots. So, yesterday we started talking about finding our interquartile range, and I mentioned in that video that we are going to help it make a little bit more sense of why we need that information today because we are going to put that information into a picture. We're going to graph it in a box plot or a box and whisker plot, and you'll be able to see exactly how that data looks on a graph. All right, so a box and whisker plot is simply just that. It is a plot with boxes and whiskers. It's a way to visually display data and the spread of that data. So it's called a box and whisker plot because there's quite literally a box and some whiskers. So when you're drawing a box and whisker plot, you're going to have the line that has your numbers on it. And you'll use your minimum, the smallest number. You'll use your median and your maximum, the largest number you have. You'll also plot your interquartile ranges, your quartile 1 and quartile 3. So we've got 5 lines here. Well, we need to turn one of them into a box. And then it's like kitten whiskers, like the box is their nose, and then we give them little whiskers out to our minimum and our maximum. So this is what a box and whisker plot is going to look like. Now the steps for actually making a box and whisker plot, or just a box plot, are very, very similar to what we did to find the interquartile range. So for step 1 and 2, step 1 we put all of the data in order from least to greatest. Then we find our minimum, our quartile 1, our median, our quartile 3, and our maximum. Then we're going to make our number line. We start off by plotting our quartile 1 and quartile 3, and then we draw a box between those two. Then we plot the median inside the box. Then we plot the minimum, then the maximum, and then we draw our whiskers. So, let's go ahead and take a look at a set of data and learn how to make these box plots. Alright, example number 1. So when we go to make a box plot, step 1 is to put our numbers in order from smallest to largest. So let's go ahead and take a second and do that. Perfect. Okay, now the second thing we need to do is set ourselves up for success by writing out what numbers or what values we are trying to find out of our data set. Alright, so to plot a box plot, we need to find the minimum, quartile 1, median, quartile 3, and maximum. So in order to find these numbers, let's start with the easy stuff. The easiest thing to find is our minimum and our maximum, because our minimum is our smallest number, which is 3, and our maximum is our largest number, which is 18. The next thing we need to find is our median. So to find the median, we cross off as we go, starting with our left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Oh boy, we're stuck with 2 in the middle. So in order to find our median, we have to add 5 plus 9 divided by 2. So 5 plus 9 gives us 14, divided by 2 gives us 7, so our median is 7. Alright, so that median is right there between the 5 and the 9. And just like we did yesterday when we were finding our interquartile ranges, quartile 1 is simply the median in this first half of the data. The quartile 1 is simply the median of the first half of our data. So we cross 1, left, right, and we are left with the number 4 as our first quartile. Our second quartile is simply the median of our second half of the data. It's the median of the second half of the data. So again, we cross off left, right, until we are left with our 12. So quartile 3 is 12. So now we have all of this information. Let's go ahead and learn how to plot it. All right, we got a bright, nice, clean canvas to go ahead and draw our box plot. So what we need to do first, we've done step 1 and step 2. Now we need to do step 3. So step 3, we need to make the number line. All right, so now we have our number line. Gotta love that, video magic where it just pops up. All right, so we're looking at our number line here. So you know what your median is. You know what the middle number of your chart's going to be, or of your plot. And that kind of needs to be where you center your numbers around. Make sure that on your number line that you have your minimum and your maximum. So however big your data set is how big your number line needs to be, because you're going to need to plot those points on your number line. Okay, so following our steps, the next thing that we need to do is plot quartile 1 and quartile 4. So quartile 1 was 4. So to do that, we need to come and find 4 on our number line and draw a line. Draw a line where the 4 is, because the 4 is here. 4. Our quartile 3 is 12, so I need to go and find the 12. So the 12 is here, and draw my line there. Then it says to draw the box. So that means we connect the top of our lines to the other top of our lines, the bottom of our line to the other bottom of our line. So now that we have our box, step 5 is to plot the median inside the box. So our median is 7. So I plot it at 7. And after I plot that, then we need to plot our minimum and our maximum. So our minimum was 3. So that's not much farther away from our 4 line. And our maximum was all the way out here at 18. And once we do that, we draw our whiskers, connecting those two together. So this, my dears, is a box plot. Now, there are a couple of important things to know when looking at a box plot. A couple of details that will be very helpful for you. So this right here, just a friendly reminder, that is your minimum. And this line down here, that's your maximum. This green line here is our median. The red line is quartile 1. And the purple line is quartile 3. Now, we talk about quartiles, and we mentioned yesterday that quartiles mean the quarter. Well, how much is a quarter worth? A quarter worth is worth 25 cents, right? So each quartile is 25%. So the first quartile is 25%. The median is 50% of our data. And quartile 3 is 75% of our data. And our maximum is 100% of our data. Now our minimum could be, 0% of our data, but we're not really worried about that. So when we talk about our percentages, the quartile 1 is 25%. So from our minimum to our quartile 1 is 25% of your data. Now from quartile 1 to quartile 3, that's 50% of your data. So keep these in mind. You may see some tricky questions in the future asking you how or what percent is what part of the of our box plot. Alright, excellent job, y'all. Excellent job on your first box plot. So let's look at another set of data and see if we can make another box plot with this information. So by now you should know how to find your minimum, your quartile 1, your median, your quartile 3, and your maximum. So I'm going to give you guys a few moments. Go ahead and pause the video and see if you can set everything up the correct way. Don't forget, first you need to put your data set in order from smallest to largest, and then set yourself up for success. So pause the video, do that, and I'll meet you right back here. Alright, good job. Hopefully you were able to set your paper up correctly. If not, go back and change it. Make sure your paper looks like mine. Okay, let's get the easy stuff out of the way first. Our minimum and our maximum. So our minimum is 8 and our maximum is 37. Wow, we've got some big numbers in this one. Our median, again, we take ourselves and we cross off, loop, right, left, right, left, right, and if we have a left, we have a right. We have our number in the middle, which is 15. 15. Alright, if you remember from yesterday, when we have a single number as our median, we do something a little funkety-munkety. That guy gets to live in his own little bubble. So we ignore that guy when we are trying to find our new, our interquartile ranges. Remember that quartile 1 is the median of that first quartile. So our quartile 1 is 12. And the quartile 3 is our median of the second set of data. So that is 24. Alright, so now that we have all of the numbers for each of our quartile ranges and everything that we need to plot our boxes, let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so we got another nice clean slate here to draw our box plot. First thing we need to do is get our number line in there. So we know our minimum is 8 and our maximum is 37. So our number line needs to go from before the 8 to after 37. So let's draw our number line from 0 to 40. Poof! Magic! There's my number line. Alright. So when you have a number line that's this large, you don't have to draw all the little tiny tick marks that we have like between 0, so 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't have to draw all that to make it exact unless you want to. It might help and make it a little more exact, but I'm just looking to know that you know the general area of where it's supposed to be. So for now, I am going to go ahead and draw the little marks so that we know where our numbers go. Poof, magic, there they are again. Alright, so step 1, step 2, step 3, done. Now let's go ahead and plot our points for our box plot. Now we start by plotting quartile 1, which was 12, so right about here. Then we needed to plot quartile 3, which is 24, which is all the way over here. Then we need to connect our boxes. So let's connect the tops, connect the bottoms. Okay, Now we plot our median. Our median was 15. So that guy goes over there. Look, our median is not in the middle of our box. That is okay. When we start talking about analyzing our box plots and kind of seeing what they mean, we'll see why that number's why our median line is not in the middle of that box. So it's okay. Our minimum is 8, so we're about right here. And our maximum is 37. It's all the way out here. That's what happens when you have an outlier, ladies and gentlemen. That is an outlier all the way out there. So this is what our box plot looks like. We have our minimum, our quartile 1, our median, our quartile 3, and our maximum. Excellent. Now, sometimes you may get asked to draw a different kind of box plot. You may get asked to draw what's known as a vertical box plot. Well, if you remember my vertical joke about my mom being vertically challenged because she was short, vertical means it's going up and down instead of left and right. So you still do everything the same way, but instead of our number line going left to right, it's going to go up and down. So the smallest number would be here, and our biggest number would be up here. And then our box plot would still look the exact same way, just as if it was put on its side. So we would plot our two here, connect them, put on our median, our minimum, our maximum, and then draw our whiskers. So this here is a vertical box plot. So if you get a question on your homework that asks you to draw a vertical box plot, the only difference between that and a regular box plot is that we turn it on its side. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's notes. So what you'll need to do now is go ahead and take out a sheet of paper, get your homework set up. Miss Robinson will give you the paper copy of the homework. There's also a digital copy here in Google Classroom. It is due first thing tomorrow, so you'll put it in the basket and Miss Robinson will collect it. If you would like to check your answers, I was not able to put to give you the answers for the box plots themselves on the practice set. However, Miss Robinson does have a copy of what the box plots should look like, and you can use the practice set to help you check to make sure all of your minimum, maximum, median, quartile 1, quartile 3, to make sure all of that is correct. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me or ask Miss Robinson for help. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. You are so loved, and I miss you dearly. Bye, guys.